And just before signing off, I used to run a segment on a radio station, David, called the Institute of Duh. You know when you see something and you just go, oh, duh, like that was never going to work, right? Well, that is exactly what's happened to a group of cyclists down at the port. What are you laughing at?
No.
I think we should bring it back to the ABC, don't worry.
Move on.
Okay.
Keep going.
All right, so I don't know.
Were you the chief executive of the Institute of Duh?
And CEO and treasurer, in fact. Now, look, down on St Vincent Street, Port Adelaide, a lot of you might have headed that way because of the Wonderwall Festival. Well, Ben Cove was doing just that. And Ben, you were on your bicycle. Good morning.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
What happened?
So basically, whoever is in charge has decided to build a traffic island, a pedestrian crossing traffic island, right across the bike lane, and the traffic island actually continues into the flow of traffic somewhat. And not only has it created a hazard for cyclists, but it's also created a bit of a hazard for drivers as well. And it just seems to be a pretty unthought out piece of infrastructure. Yeah.
So it was a Duh moment.
Yeah.
Look, let's not beat around the bush. I had a good long hard look at it, and I honestly thought, who did the site evaluation here, or what sort of levels of redundancy were in place to make sure that these kind of mistakes don't happen in the first place?
Because for those that haven't seen this picture, this is a big pedestrian island that's coming out, and you can see the two white lines that designate the bicycle cycling lane going into one side of the concrete buffer and the garden bed, and then straight out the other side of it.
Yeah. You do think, what were they thinking? But Ben, this happens all the time for cyclists. We're given these cycling lanes which just stop in the middle of nowhere. And you think, well, what am I meant to do? Get off my bike and walk? Well, you've brought me to this place, and I don't go anywhere?
Yeah, look, cycling infrastructure in South Australia is actually pretty good. It's just as you say, it's the integration between different cycling paths that lets us down. We know from the research that that's a major contributing factor to stopping people from partaking in active transport. Now, in this particular case, they're obviously looking out for pedestrian safety, and that's obviously a key role as well. I mean, we need to look after all road users. But inadvertently, they've created a risk to pedestrians, cyclists, and motorists by trying to offset the risk to pedestrians. So, look, I think that section of road definitely needs to be reconfigured to some degree. But you're right. More broadly, we need to have a look at the integration between different bike paths, because we definitely need to promote active transport for its environmental and its economic and social benefits in Adelaide, for sure.
Well, Ben Cove, thank you. We actually went to the council, and the council's come back and says, we have looked into this, and the work was not undertaken by council. We believe it was undertaken by a contractor on behalf of the state government as part of a new development happening there. We do have a call into Dipty, however, they haven't been able to provide anyone to speak with us or give us any information at this time. So we'll keep on that. Thank you very much to Ben there.
After 9 o'clock, we're going to look at the impact of cheap petrol and the corona.